expecting some foreign body sensation. He may have a cough or a sneeze reflex also. So he should be told about, if you are having that, please raise your hand or use a hanky or even your elbow to cover that sneeze. So what has to be done here is the swab has to be inserted. First of all, how deep do we need to go inside to actually reach the nasopharynx? So basically what is classically told is from the tragus to the tip of the nose, the distance roughly works out around 7 centimeters is the distance which should be inserted inside. And once you are inside, you will automatically feel a resistance. And then the swab has to be rolled over to ensure maximum sample is collected from the nasopharynx. Then pull back. So all this should be taking not more than 10 seconds. But the patient has to be told this. What has been classically been seen is a swab is just put inside and very quickly exited. That's not the correct way to do a nasopharyngeal swab sampling. Coming on to handling, transport and storage, so we do not need to worry much about it, as we are a center where our patient sample will be coming from the wards itself. However, for samples that are collected from outside, we keep on harping about them being transported in ice packs. And if it has to be transported somewhere else, so IATA guidelines are the ones which are international guidelines on transport of infectious diseases sample. So they ensure a triple layer packaging has to be done, and wherein you actually mention that it is a sample is of infectious nature and it has to be transported accordingly. Sample rejection criteria, again, it should be followed very strictly. However, again, there is with us in the compulsion of processing the sample, most of the times we tend to overlook these. However, they should never be overlooked. If you are absolutely certain that a sample has been transported from some distance and it has not been transported to us in an ice pack, we are very much in our capacity to reject that sample. Labeling is again very important, since it is all this COVID disease comes under Epidemic Act, so we cannot just miss a sample like that. Inappropriate specimen, as we saw, though it has been tested with urine and stool also, but then that is not the mainstay. So inappropriate sample. Insufficient volume, testing volume has to be adequate for us to perform the test. Any sample which has leaked is a potential hazard for contamination of other samples as well as the personnel who is handling this sample. So they all need to be rejected, and superiors have to be informed accordingly. This again we can skip because it is packaging, it is our domain, we will do that. Coming on to where all we can go wrong in sample collection. So timing of sample collection, just as I showed you the window, so that window has to be added. Institution of therapy is not much indicated in viral diagnosis, so that can be skipped. However, for bacterial sample collection, again, if you have put a patient on antibiotic and after that you are taking a sample for sepsis, it won't serve the purpose as to why you are taking the sample. That is why any sample ideally should be taken before institution of antimicrobial or antiviral therapy. Wrong technique of sample collection, just as I said, if you are touching the tongue, saliva, so our human RNA sample has come, but then the viral RNA will not come. So it is again an error. Patient may be positive, we will report the patient as negative. Use of PCR inhibitors while sampling, both two cases only. That is the gloves, powdered gloves, as well as nitrile, the calcium alginate swabs. Storage of VTM prior to sampling. Now we also keep these VTM at room temperature. However, the recommended is 16 to 25 degrees, so that is why we take that levy. But it should not be kept in an incubator or somewhere where the temperature is higher than 25 degrees centigrade. And cold chain failure during transportation, just as I said, it has to be at 4 degrees centigrade. The transport 2 to 8 degrees centigrade should be the target of sample transport if we are going to test in 3 days time. If it is beyond 3 days, it has to be transported in under frozen ice So that covers most of the part of my sample collection